At the very heart of the sands of Egypt, near the Giza Plateau where the greatest monuments of antiquity stand, rises a figure that for thousands of years has seemed to silently observe everything around it. This is the Great Sphinx of Giza, a giant carved directly from a single block of rock, a structure whose scale continues to astonish even modern researchers. It looks as if it did not simply appear as a statue, but as part of the landscape itself, as though it was not built, but revealed from within the earth. Its lion's body and human face form an image that no one can fully or definitively explain. It is a combination of strength, intelligence, and something that goes beyond ordinary symbolism. The Sphinx has stood here for thousands of years. Wind, sandstorms, and time slowly erode everything around it. Yet it remains in place, as if it does not obey the usual laws of aging and decay. And the longer you look at it, the stronger the feeling grows that it is not just part of history, but its observer. Scientists and researchers still debate its origin. The official version connects it to the era of the pharaohs. But as more data emerges, inconsistencies and questions continue to appear. Some details do not fit into the established timeline, as if this structure is older than traditionally believed. Its scale and precision are especially puzzling. How could such a massive and complex form, carved from a single block of limestone, have been created in ancient times without modern technology while preserving such proportions? It creates the impression that we are not just looking at a monument, but at the result of knowledge far deeper than we assume. And perhaps the most mysterious thing about the Sphinx is not its appearance, but its silence. It left no inscriptions, offered no direct explanations, and seems almost deliberately unwilling to reveal its meaning. And the more humanity tries to understand it, the more it remains a mystery that has outlived entire eras and civilizations. The history of the Great Sphinx of Giza's creation remains a subject of debate that has continued for decades. The official view states that it was built during the Old Kingdom of Egypt, in the time of the pharaohs, as a symbol of power and protection for the sacred structures of the Giza Plateau. But even this explanation leaves too many gaps. The main question is why there are no clear historical records of its construction. For such a massive structure carved from a single rock, almost no direct references exist in ancient texts. This alone raises doubts among researchers. Some archaeologists and independent scholars suggest that the Sphinx may be significantly older than commonly believed. They point to inconsistencies between the age of surrounding structures and the erosion patterns on the statue itself. These hypotheses remain controversial, but they add further mystery to its history. The construction technology also raises questions. Even today, carving such a massive figure out of solid limestone with precision is a major engineering challenge. In ancient times, without modern tools, it seems almost impossible. And the more the Sphinx is studied, the clearer one thing becomes. Its origin is not as simple as it first appears. It feels as if its story was either lost over time or was never fully recorded. One of the most debated mysteries of the Great Sphinx of Giza is its face. At first glance, it appears human, but closer examination raises questions that still have no clear answers. Some researchers believe the proportions of the face look unusual and do not fully match traditional depictions of pharaohs from the Old Kingdom of Egypt. This has led to theories that the face may have been altered or even recarved in later periods to reflect a different ruler or meaning. There is also a hypothesis that the Sphinx may originally have represented a different being or ruler, whose image was later lost or modified. However, there is no solid evidence for this, which makes the mystery even deeper. The condition of the stone also draws attention. Erosion and damage patterns on the face differ from the rest of the structure, leading some researchers to suggest that it may have undergone significant changes over different historical periods, possibly even restoration. And the more this part of the Sphinx is studied, the stronger the impression becomes that its face is not just a sculpted feature, but a coded symbol whose meaning may have been changed or lost over time. Another highly controversial aspect of the Great Sphinx of Giza is the erosion patterns on its body. Some researchers have noted damage that appears to resemble long-term water erosion rather than only wind and sand. This raises serious questions, because the region of Egypt where the Sphinx stands is one of the driest on Earth today, with very little rainfall. Such patterns cannot easily be explained by the modern climate. Based on this, a hypothesis emerged that the Sphinx may have been created during a period when the region had a very different, wetter climate with regular rainfall. If true, this would mean it is far older than officially believed. However, this idea is disputed. Many archaeologists argue that similar erosion could result from other natural processes, including wind, temperature changes, and long-term weathering. Still, the question remains open. Why do different parts of the Sphinx show different types of erosion? Why do some marks look as if they were caused by water rather than desert sand? And it is precisely this uncertainty that makes the Sphinx even more mysterious, as if it preserves traces of a time that may not have been what we imagine. In the end, the Great Sphinx of Giza remains what it has always been, a silent guardian of the Giza Plateau in Egypt. It offers no answers, leaves no explanations, and confirms none of the theories proposed by people. Each era tries to interpret its meaning in its own way. For some, it is a symbol of pharaonic power. For others, a trace of lost knowledge or even an older civilization that left almost no record behind. But no single theory fully resolves its mysteries. The Sphinx seems designed to remain a mystery. It has survived sandstorms, dynastic changes, religious transformations, and thousands of years of human history. Yet it has never lost its defining quality, silence. And the longer it stands, the stronger the feeling grows that its purpose is not to be solved, but to observe. As if it is watching humanity, waiting for the moment when we are ready to understand what we cannot yet explain. Perhaps that is why it is still here, not as a monument of the past, but as a question that has not yet been fully asked, and certainly not answered. And perhaps the strangest thing of all is not the Sphinx itself, but the fact that it continues to raise more questions than modern technology can explain. The Great Sphinx of Giza stands in the silence of the sands of Egypt, and that silence feels heavier than any words. It has survived millennia, changing eras, and the disappearance of civilizations, and all this time it has remained in the same place, as if its purpose is not to be understood, but to observe. We can build theories, debate, and discover new facts, but no version yet provides a complete answer. And the more humanity learns, the clearer it becomes. Some mysteries do not disappear with time. They only deepen. And perhaps the Sphinx is not a mystery of the past. Perhaps it is a question addressed to us today, a question whose answer still remains to be found.